4 states, including Pennsylvania, Oregon, Idaho, and Nebraska, are holding crucial party primaries today. Winners could give clues to what could happen in November's midterms and whether power would shift from Republicans to Democrats in the House of Representatives. Joining us now is Representative Andy Harris. He is Maryland's only Republican member of Congress. He is also a medical doctor, a practicing Catholic, and is pro-life. Representative Harris, thank you for joining us.
It's good to be with you again.
Pennsylvania has implemented map redistricting that favors Democrats. In Nebraska, typically Republican, 2 Democrats have a primary in Omaha. Now, you're a Republican from a state that traditionally votes Democrat. What is your party doing to hold on to the House?
Well, look, we're working hard. We're making sure that the American people understand that as we get this economy going, as we get the average person feeling better about themselves and their families and the opportunities in America, that they're going to realize that they're going to return the Republican majority. The courts have gone into Pennsylvania and other states and have required redistricting. We think you either do it nationally or don't do it anywhere, but in a couple of states like Pennsylvania, they've done it. And again, we'll see tonight and then, of course, in November, how that plays out.
A lawsuit challenging Iowa's heartbeat bill, we just mentioned this, was signed by the governor last week. Most restrictive abortion ban. And Nebraska's governor signed a state budget denying funds to abortion providers, including Planned Parenthood. You're pro-life and a doctor and speak for the unborn. Why are states, not Congress, leading the charge on defunding Planned Parenthood?
Well, the fact of the matter is we have a majority in the House that would defund Planned Parenthood. We have a president who would sign it, but unfortunately we have a Senate where we don't have 60 votes. But in some states, they do have majorities and governors who are willing to sign common sense legislation. The vast majority of Americans don't agree with public funding of abortions, especially late-term abortions, which Planned Parenthood does. So I think the majority of Americans are with us in terms of not funding abortion. And again, some of these governors are way ahead of the curve and probably will stay ahead of the federal government for a while. That being said, the Trump administration has allowed states to restrict the access of Planned Parenthood to Medicaid funds, which are the source of hundreds of millions of dollars for Planned Parenthood nationwide.
You spoke, speaking of this, at the Family Research Council today about the Supreme Court case Nifla versus Becerra, which will be decided soon. It's about preserving free speech for those who advocate for women and the unborn, most likely those in front of those Planned Parenthood centers. What would a pro-life ruling mean?
Well, the fact of the matter is that California is attempting, which has been attempted before in other scenarios, attempting to have the government force individuals to speak and say something they don't want to say. So, we have the right to protect our speech. We also have the right to protect us from not being required to say something the government requires us to say that we disagree with. That's what it's about with these pregnancy centers. They're being required to basically refer for abortions when the government has selected only pregnancy centers, crisis pregnancy centers, to apply this standard. They could have applied it broadly across anyone who is taking care of pregnant women. They could have broadened it to refer to other things like Women's Infant Children Nutrition Program, but no, they selected, again, in a carefully plotted way, select out pregnancy centers and then make them deliver a pro-abortion message that they don't want to deliver. It's an egregious violation of their First Amendment rights. I don't think it'll survive the Supreme Court. I think the Supreme Court will, I think by a healthy margin, overturn that California law.
Well, we'll find out in June when the rulings come out. Thank you so much, Representative Andy Harris, Republican member of Congress from the state of Maryland.